There are officially 7 billion people roaming around this mote of dust in outer space. 7 billion apes minus fur. Just hairy knuckles and a gross sense of entitlement. Every time a statistic like this is reported on, there has to be at least one knee-jerk journalist, a global commentator, bitching about the dire effects of overpopulation. I don't buy into the propaganda machine, man. I have a stable internet connection, okay? I'm informed, bitch. But yeah, there's no such thing as overpopulation, and I'm gonna tell you why. You know that bullshit phrase that's always stenciled underneath the blackface equivalent of a Native American? The one that says something like, man belong to earth. Earth do not belong to man. Well, I believe that too in a way. If our population density proved to be too much, we just run out of food. Mother Nature would be all like, bitch, you think you can use me? Fuck you, buddy. Nature would become Lorena Bobbitt's right hand. You see what I'm saying? Overpopulation, even in theory, solves itself. The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. My biggest problem with the idea of overpopulation is what the word really means. It's an excuse made up by people who have a steady access to food. It makes people genuinely believe that we already face a food shortage of global proportions. And that's bullshit. The reality is that food is a global controller. How can third world countries stay poor so first world countries can enslave them? Keep them right above starving. Just a notch above. You just gotta keep the food away from them. The world produces enough food to feed everyone. World agriculture produces 17% more calories per person today than it did 30 years ago, despite a 70% population increase. The lone problem is that many people in the world do not have sufficient income to purchase enough food. Hunger exists because we have a global hierarchy. We're really no better than the monkeys we look down upon, as if to assume that we have something figured out that they don't. But just an idea. If the United States were to cease military development, if they were to pull all our troops home overseas, if they would instead put that money into the development of agriculture to feed the entire world, and not for any profit. Take capitalism out of the picture. Just do it because we're all people. And if there's anything that would separate us from all those other lowly species, it would be compassion. If our society transcended being vengeful like an ex-girlfriend, if we put that money into the quality of life of our own species, then this country could solve world hunger on its own. But we're blinded by the golden arches of the McDonald's sign. But just think, some of your tax dollars are hard at work making sure some young brown child is starving to death right now. And that's kind of fucked up, isn't it? Kind of fucked up to think about. Not anything you have control over. But it's something we all have to live with, or ignore. Mostly ignore. But we have the tools to feed the world every day. And every day we decide not to. But who cares? The McRib is back.
Yeah, yeah. Choo-choo-choo is over my head. Choo-choo-choo is over my head.